Hello everyone, my name is Vivek Kaur and welcome back to my YouTube channel Better Call Paul. So in this video we are going to learn about LangGraph. In previous video we see the use case of LangChain, the importance of LangChain in building AI applications, why we use LangChain, what is the necessity to implement LangChain in building AI applications, why the library LangChain exists. Everything we covered in our previous video. We see how it becomes so easier to build AI application, how it becomes so easy to debug the AI applications, debug the errors inside the AI applications by using LangChain. Now, LangGraph is the next version of LangChain. LangGraph is basically built on top of LangChain. Means it builds using LangChain community, all the LangChain code. It is the top of version of LangChain, LangGraph. So what is LangGraph actually, and what is the difference between LangChain and LangGraph? Why there is a necessity to learn LangGraph, and implement it on AI applications? So we can build AI applications using LangChain. Of course, we can build it, but very small architecture AI application we can build. Very small feature chatbot AI application we can build using LangChain. But if you want to increase the number of features inside that chatbot, if you want to scale the chatbot, if you want to make it productionize, then we have to use LangGraph. The term LangGraph, if we split it, then we can see that LangGraph means LangChain plus graph. Graph means there is a architecture. So in that architecture, there are various components. A lot of conditional loops are there, and LangGraph provides that kind of architecture building setup. We can build our architecture using LangGraph. We can build conditional loops. For example, if that case fail, then that case. If that case fail, then again retry. Again retry loops are there. Then next stage. Then next stage. We can easily make that architecture using LangGraph. But this is not happen with LangChain. We have to manually write down the codes like conditional loops, if else, while loop, for loops, then your try except blocks. A lot of conditional loops we have to write down into your LangChain. And LangChain is a stateless. For example, you build a complicated architecture having a lot of steps, and you just launch that application. And for example, on some particular day, step number three just break down for some reason, then it becomes difficult. Like from scratch, the application will start. But this is not in case of LangGraph. LangGraph stores the state of that application step and resume from next step. So that is also important. I will show you with this pen and pad. I have a pen and pad. I will show you LangChain versus LangGraph comparison. So I will just switch my screen. So this is our notepad. And before beginning, I will just explain you the simple difference between LangChain and LangGraph. LangChain is a thing that helps you connect with LLMs, prompts, tools, APIs, vector databases, etc. But LangGraph is like you can control the flow and behavior of AI agents like workflow and state of that machine. So that is a difference. Means here you will have the power to control the workflow in LangGraph. While in LangChain, you can just build. You cannot have proper control over it. So that is the difference. Means here in LangChain, you will be like an employee, you will be like an AI agent. But in LangGraph, you will be like the boss of that whole agentic AI system. That is the difference. LangGraph is the boss, LangChain is the employee. Now I will show you what LangChain looks like. For example, this is a user query. Then it comes the LLM, and then it comes the answer. So this is LangChain. This is the simple step. You can see user sends the query to the chatbot like, hey, my name is this and that, and what is the temperature of Delhi, like that, and this query goes to LLM. LLM gives the answer. That is the case. That is the simple workflow present in LangChain. If you want to make complicated chatbot, if you want to make a complicated architecture, then that complication LangChain can do. I agree. LangChain can do it, but there is a very complications, means a lot of for loops, if else, while, when, loop, conditional loops, try, except, block, and the code becomes very lengthy. It becomes difficult to debug, and also it becomes very difficult to debug. So decoding, debugging, this very complicated. This becomes very complicated in LangChain. But if we use LangGraph, then this becomes more easy. Here, you can imagine LangChain is like an AI employee. Using LangChain, you can give instructions, and it is good for building simple chatbots, question answer chatbots, like your chatbots present in your IRCTC website, or your any kind of chatbots like Siri is a chatbot of Apple, so Meta AI is a chatbot of Facebook, like RAG applications, simple workflow, but it becomes difficult when agent must have the ability to think multiple times. If that architecture is having retry on failure loops, if it is having use of many tools like reading, writing, editing, if it is having use of many skills means what? Integration with Google Drive, Google Docs, Meton AI API key, like that, it becomes difficult for LangChain to remember the previous steps, to make the decisions dynamically, to work like an human thinking. So this becomes difficult when it comes to LangChain. While in LangGraph, what happens? The architecture look like this. I will just show you the architecture of LangGraph. So here you can see, here the process starts, then it understands the question, then after it again do need search. Need search means it passes if the need of uh, any news is yes, then it go for search news. It calls the web search tool. If it is no, then it stops, and finally it goes to analyze result. Then it generates the answer. Then it saves into memory. This is called as LangGraph. I will show you. So this whole flow means you can see here, you can see the difference clearly. In LangChain, simple chatbot is there, but in LangGraph, this kind of complicated architecture is there. It is easy to build this kind of architecture using LangGraph. We can make this kind of architecture using LangChain as well, but it becomes very complicated. Debugging is very difficult, and readability is also very difficult when it comes to LangChain. That's why we use LangGraph. Now, why this LangGraph was created? Because people are using LangChain face problems while building advanced AI agents. Problems in LangChain, like suppose you build AI stock analyst, resume screener, customer support agent, research assistant, AI coding agent like your cursor. or your Claude code or whatever it is. Then the agents needs loops, it needs retry, memory, human approval, multi-agent collaboration, state tracking, conditional routing. LangChain alone becomes very messy for this. It can do this task, but it becomes very complicated. But this problem was solved by using LangGraph. Without a LangGraph, the code becomes very lengthy and very complicated. But LangGraph solves this problem. Uh, our code becomes large, hard to debug, hard to scale, difficult to manage memory, difficult to track agent state. So all these problems are solved by using LangGraph. LangGraph means it is having nodes and edges. It is like a flow chart. I will show you the flow chart in a few minutes. Now here I will show you a simple project. I will just zoom in. See, in the previous video in LangChain, I have also used UV uh, packager, Python packager. I didn't use a pip as a packager. So py project.tyml is by default this file generated. Dot gitignore file is also generated. uv.lock is also generated. I have explained each and every to you as well. So we will first see langchain.py. This code we will see how it works. We have to install some libraries like .env, LangChain, OpenAI, and from that LangChain OpenAI, we have to import chat OpenAI. We have to load the .env file and we have to call the GPT-4o mini, and we have to ask question to that chatbot like what is AI. Now, once I will uh, run this langchain.py file, you will see the answer, the AI answer. Okay. We have asked the question, what is AI? And we will get the answer. We will see. It will take some time because this is AI application. AI responses takes time. So you can see here, we have asked the question like from here, Python langchain.py, and here is the answer. This is the question actually. And here is the answer. AI or artificial intelligence refers to simulation of human intelligence and so on. AI is applied in diverse fields, including healthcare, finance, automotive, and so on, in technology and research. So this is a simple use case. You can see we have built an AI application. We have built an AI chatbot in just 10 lines of code using LangChain. So it's very nice. That's why everyone is using LangChain for AI application. Without this, without LangChain, building AI chatbots is very complicated. But we can build only simple chatbots. We can build only simple RAG pipelines using this LangChain. If you want to include some if else loop, some business logic, some try and accept, some retry logic, some failure logics, some complicated flowchart. If you want to integrate into your chatbot, into your code base, then this code becomes very complicated, very complicated, and it is also very difficult to change that architecture. Means you have to write down the code entirely from scratch if you want to change the architecture. But that problem solved by LangGraph. I have make some spelling mistake in this file. Means LangGraph is the spelling of LangGraph actually. But I intentionally make spelling mistake because if you use the exact spelling of LangGraph, exact spelling of that library, then your code will not run. Your code will show you error because once you install like a pip install LangChain or pip install LangGraph, that is also a file. This langgraph.py, langchain.py, these are also files. These are also libraries. So they are installing. If your file name is also same as like your library name, then there will be a conflict. your Python or your pip installer or your UV package installer will be confused what to install exactly, and you will have an error on installation, and hours will be gone. So your folder name, your file name should be different than your library name. That's why you can see here LangGraph is different. LangGraph is the spelling of LangGraph, but here I intentionally make the changes. Okay, so that is the case actually. Here LangChain.py I have made, but I didn't get any error. But on LangGraph I got error. That's why I have made some changes. So we will go here. I have already write down code to save your time. So LangChain versus LangGraph, I have installed some libraries, and without LangGraph, uh, this is a small code. I will just show you. Means we have a workflow like user query, then it will search. So user query will be there, then there will be classification of that query, whether it is a finance query or general query. Then there will be search tool, then there will be analysis of that sentiment of that particular query or particular search result. And then there will be confidence check, and then there will be the final answer. So if we use LangChain, means without LangGraph, you will have this code and that complicated code, and your answer will be like this. Uh, Means I will just show you. We have to import random, and we have to define some functions like classify query. If stop word is present into that user query, then it is finance related query. Otherwise, it is a general query. Likewise, search news. It is searching the news, and it is generating the confidence score. Then it will analyze whether the news is positive or negative. Means we have used a random library. Means this is a simplest chatbot. That's why we didn't go for much complication. Then it will generate report, and again, if the confidence score is less than 70, then it will retry. So this is if else loop is also there. So that's why it generate this kind of error, this kind of output. But by using LangGraph, what we can do, we can uh, change the components. We can integrate the components, and we can make the most complicated RAG application as well, most complicated chatbot as well, most scalable chatbot as well. How? I will show you. And I will also show you the importance. I will also show you the difference between LangChain and LangGraph. So here we have generated a class, with the class having question, category, news, confidence, sentiment, report. Here is the classify node function. See, in LangGraph, there are two things. One is node and one is edges. Edges are also two types, normal edge and conditional edge. I will show you in upcoming minutes. So here there is a node and having state question. If stock is present in that question, then it is finance, or otherwise it is general. Then comes the news part, same logic. Then comes the analysis part. So you can see here, state word is also mentioned. That state word is not present in LangChain code, without LangGraph code, previous code. So this state is also important. For example, your code is running for 7 days, and you are using LangChain. So if, for example, on the third day, there might be some 10-step code, right? And on the third day, the fourth step got missing, or it got breakdown, then your entire application got destroyed, and you may have to start the entire application from scratch. That is from step one. But in LangGraph, it doesn't happen like that. You can start from where the code get failed. Means if the code get failed on fourth step, you can resume it from fifth step as well. So that is the difference between LangChain and LangGraph. So this state is also present here. The search node, the sentiment node. This you just remember. I will show you in next few steps. These are functions, and this is confidence checking. If it is less than 70%, then it is good. Otherwise, it will retry the logic. then final report. And here, this is the most important part. This is the difference between LangChain and LangGraph. This is only present in LangGraph. This is not present in LangChain. You can build the entire architecture here in LangGraph. You can't build the architecture. You can't build the graphical view in LangChain. So here you can see the add node. We have added nodes. We have added edges. I have told you like node and edges are two most important things in line graph architecture. So classify, search node, sentiment node, report node. These are the nodes. I have also told you like you can just see report node, sentiment node. So here is the report node, right? And here is the sentiment node, right? Here is a search node and here is a classify node, right? Classify node, you can see. I will just highlight it. Okay. This is the classify node, right? Classify, search node, these are the functions. And all these functions are present in this builder code. These are the function names and these are the names of that nodes. You can rename it, right? You can make it anything. And after that, you can see here the edges as well. Edges means the straight lines. Nodes means the circles. You can see here. Once I run the graph will be looking like this. So here the circular part, you can see the nodes, and here the straight bars, the arrows, these are edges. So from where this classify text comes, because classify, search, start, from where it comes, you can see classify, search, sentiment, report. So this comes. Okay. And yes, classify, search, sentiment, report. These are the names of that nodes. And here is the end node and report node. Okay. I will just show you. End node, you can see end node and report node. This is the age. See here, add age, report, end, like that. Yes. Okay. Yes, and here is the entry point. Set entry point, classify. Entry point means start and then classify. So this is the architecture. You can see very easily we can build this entire graph. You just have to write down the function names. You just have to write down the functions, various functions, and then you just have to put this inside this builder code. Just builder dot add node, your node name and your function name, node name, function name, node name, function name, and your edges, your start age, start node and end node of that particular age. So this is how you can build complicated architectures as well using LangGraph. This simplicity, this easiness is not present in LangChain. Of course, you can build complicated chatbots using LangChain, but it is very tedious and it is very complicated. But here you can see how simple it is. Just make functions and draw an architecture. Your graph will look like this, simple as it is. So that's why this is used in building real world AI chatbots, real world AI RAG architectures, complicated architecture. Now we just run this LangGraph and you will get analyze Reliance stock. We'll just run this entire code once again. Run, again run. And here you can see. Yes, here you can see analyze the Reliance stock. It uses positive sentiment. I will just, yes, here. Yes. Here is the category is finance because this is analyze Reliance stock. The stock word is present. That's why it is a finance query. It is not general query. Then searching this finance query, we have used the random library and randomly it generates the confidence score like from 40 to 70, and if it is more than 70, then it is a good stock. So randomly it generates number 70. So 70 or equal to 70, greater than 70, then it is good stock. So it is a positive sentiment analysis. And here we have seen the report is generated. Question: analyze the Reliance stock category. Finance news: Reliance quarterly earnings strong, confidence 70, sentiment is positive. Report is final report. This is the report. So, and visualize the chart like using Matplotlib library. You can see from start we have started, then we have classified the user query, then it goes to search node. We search that by using web search tool. Then we generate sentiment confidence score. If it is more than 70%, then go ahead. If it is not, then apply retry logic. Again, looping will be there. Then it will generate the report and it will end the chat application. Okay, that chat architecture. So that is the basic concept behind LangGraph. Why we should learn LangGraph. How simplicity is exactly created using LangGraph. What is the core logic? What is the core concept, core thinking behind LangGraph? That basic thing we have learned now. If anyone asks you that, tell me what is LangChain, why we should learn it, why we should implement it, tell me what is LangGraph, why we should learn it, why we should implement it, then you can also tell him. Likewise, I have told you like if someone asks you like in your interview questions, or for example, if your client asks you that like what is the need of LangChain in our architecture? Hi Vivek, tell me what is the use of LangGraph? Why we should use LangGraph in our architecture? Tell me the difference between LangChain and LangGraph. Tell me the importance of LangChain versus LangGraph. Then we should be able to tell him some few words, some few lines. That's why this study is important. I hope you understand the basic difference between LangChain and LangGraph. I hope you have now clarity. I hope now you can explain someone the difference between LangChain and LangGraph, the use cases of LangChain versus LangGraph, the concept behind LangChain and LangGraph, why it is created and why we should implement it for building the AI applications like chatbots. Uh, so if you found this video very helpful, if you like my efforts, you can see current. I will just show you what is the time. Just 1 second. Here you can see it is now 10 May 2026, Sunday. 23:38 means midnight time, 11:30 midnight time is there. So yes, like my efforts, and if you like my concept explanation style, then of course please do like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. You can comment me. I will try to improve my explanation as well. So thank you very much. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye.